there are four core components to really successful strategic account management. The first one is having really clear articulation of which accounts. So it's not 100 accounts per rep. It's not, it is what are the accounts that I can drive the biggest absolute dollar change over the next 18 months. And I use the absolute dollar change as an important clarification because typically people run to your biggest accounts. And in your biggest accounts, that's great. But the reality is that they may not have a lot of change. And the absolute dollars, there's accounts that have real risk in them. And so that absolute dollar change can go up and down. And it may be a mid-market account that you have massive expansion opportunities for that you want to go after. And so really defining what are the accounts. The other thing I'll throw out there in the account status is if you are doing more than 4 strategic account plans per rep, it's no longer strategic. It is really time consuming and thoughtful process to put it down on paper. And so you may have 8 accounts or 10 accounts or 20 accounts or 25 accounts, but that strategic account planning process, if you're being strategic on everything, you're being strategic on nothing. So that upper bound is 4, and it's typically kind of 2 to 3 is a good number of things that you think are going to have differential value over the next 18 months. So part 1 is accounts.
Okay.
Part 2 is around cadence. And so this is where it gets different from the way, even our parents did account planning, is that account planning is 2 parts. Part 1 is actually getting the team together and building a plan. It doesn't need to be a massive exercise, but putting people in a room for 2 hours and saying, what are the customer's needs? What is their ambition? What does the competition look like? What does our product set look like? What is the plan and sets of plays we want to go run against them? And getting really clear articulation of what you want to go run. And the second part of the cadence is, okay, now that we've got that and we've documented it, how do we come back to that every 30 days? And we drive that mutual accountability across the team to go deliver against that. What we find time and time again, and why strategic account planning fails, is people do the heavy lift at the beginning of the year, and they probably spend way more than 2 hours. But they spend the time up front, write down a plan, and never do any action against it. And so that 30-day coming back and that touchstone of making sure you create that accountability, that cadence is really important. And I want to be clear, coming back to our opening conversation, that come back to is different than opportunity management. And so this is not your forecast call. This is not dealing with deals. This is not like closing conversations or legals. This is exclusively talking about things that are not in the pipeline that you want to go do. And so carving out that time is really important. Third, and we'll jump to the fourth real quick, but the third one is plays. And so this is a concept that now lots and lots and lots of people are talking about. A bunch of the enablement friends in the space are talking about, but this idea of creating simple, easy to use plays for your team that they can run consistently. And so it's a new buyer play, it's a new product play, it's a new customer play, it's a whole bunch of stuff. But the idea is, how do you crystallize and put together a series of actions that make it really easy for your sales team to go do? We do an awesome job with this when we have new product launches. We have a marketing package, we have selling collateral. But if you think about all of your other products that sit in the portfolio that you haven't refreshed or done anything around in the last few years, and the team does, like, we should just have really clear plays, and product marketing as a cross-functional team is actually building out consistency into those plays. And then last but not least is tooling. Simple. 2 things, simple and digital. It needs to be simple. It needs to be able to fit on a page. There are a series of questions. We've actually, maybe to a fault, have been pretty dogmatic that we don't allow people to add stuff to an account plan. We have a pretty simple, easy to use account plan. If you want to add a question in, you have to take one out. Like, this is not the wonderful place where everyone gets to ask their series of questions. And the second thing that really drove us nuts personally over the years was, for a long time, we did them in PowerPoint and Word documents. And at the end of the day, that was just not a great document for mutual accountability. And so putting it into your CRM and finding a way to create that digital accountability and that touch point in that 30 days, you come back and say, hey, we committed to do the following things with the following due dates, and we assigned these owners to go get them done. I don't care how you do it, but get that singular surface where you are committing to those sets of actions together. And so 4 of them: the right accounts, get the right cadence, You got to get the plays consistently embedded, and fourth is simple, 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 simple and digital.